Hello, welcome to A Hero in a Nightmare, Season 2. Deku lies beside his bed, thinking of his past, of all the things he had to go through. As he looks through the night, he looks through the light of the night. He sees his hand change into a darkness to light, as if entering this world gave him more than what he asked for. It gave him a human-like appearance during the day, or when it's light, when light is pointing at him. But when it's darkness, another ball game appears. Deku. He seems monstrous in the darkness, but when he goes into the light, he's like an angel. But far what people know, they brought something into this world they can't bring out. It is the next morning, as Deku gets ready and he puts on his clothes. Are you two ready? 'Cause I know I am. As two other voices say yes. As Deku has his uniform on for UA. First I have UA. Wonder how everyone's gonna treat me. Of course, in Deku's appearance, Deku's hair is a bit of a dark lime green instead of a dark brown like his darkness counterpart. Of course, though, people think it's a quirk, which, for sorely mistaken, it is no quirk. It is a demon that cannot be released into the world. As the almighty Deku, Onizuka Midoriya, walks with everyone out of the apartment, as Mono, 3, 6, 11, 7, and I believe 4, like 10 other people with them at the time. Kind of complicated to tell. There were about 7 people, I believe. 6, 7? No, 7 people. Yeah, 7 people. No, 7 people. I was correct. Okay, the numbers of each person that I have chosen. Mono, 11. 11. Wait. Mono, 11. 4, 7, 6, 3, 4, and himself. Meaning that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people that are all living together due to trauma and other things, while also being watched by the heroes. But be very careful. They may look weak and pathetic, but they're far from it when you turn your back. Let's just say, when someone means inner demons, they mean inner demons. For what Deku and his group are, they are their demons. They do not have demons, they are their demons. Of course, though, it's been about 10 months since then. 10 months have passed since the accident of being broken out of that horrible dimension. Of course, after Deku broke the last TV with a bat and a crowbar, and also dropping it 12 feet, making sure no one can go back there. Him and the others, decided to live together. They only trust each other. They may not trust each other completely, but they trust each other more than they do to people who they do not know. For one day in the Little Nightmares realm is a year in the real world, meaning that they known each other since years, for hundreds of years. Of course, their time dilation and representation are very much slower. Like a time vault, one day equals a year. But put that day about, so they known each other for a decent while. They walk out as Aizawa appears in the car. Okay, everyone. Get in the car. As Deku enters the car. Is everyone ready? Yes, we're all ready, Aizawa. We're all ready. Now, would you please continue the ride to UA, please? As minutes pass, the others talk as if they're talking so fast. Aizawa is unable to read their lips from how fast they're talking. The change Deku and the others have gone through to enter this world, they can speak on 2 different times of speed. You know, present time and the time of Little Nightmares time. Talking in the Little Nightmares realm is speed beyond anyone. Meaning that in one conversation, or in 1 minute, they can have one conversation, very, very, very fast. Almost like speedsters can't think, super think. So yes. As they open the doors to UA, as they hear yelling, which annoys Deku. Or Jack. Nah, he's in My Hero universe now, so yes, Deku. Deku and about 6 other people follow in after Deku. This will be the extra class, or bonus students. They won't technically be a part of 1A. They're just there so, they can take the class. The only reason they're not in separate classrooms is because when they try to separate them, Hero Society got a very bad case of scavengers, or killers, you would say. Meaning that they all had to sit together and live together. Of course, with Aizawa as their, guardian. Okay, that's enough, everyone. time to calm down. If it takes you 2 minutes to calm down, then how do you suppose you can become a hero? As the canon, as I would say. As I would introduce everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome. Wait, no, he won't say that. Hello everyone. We have new transfer students. These are the names of each student. Mono, 11. Jack, 6, 7, 4, and 3. As Bakugo remarks at, you losers have numbers as names, and what a pathetic group. As Aizawa would protest, in a sort of way that shows anger in his voice. Trust me, Bakugo Katsuki. From what they've gone through, you have no idea. They can tear you apart before you could even blink. You think you have it hard? You have a bad day. They had a bad life. Trust me, kid. From what we're able to tell, they spent years in a nightmare, or years, hundreds of years in hell, from what we can tell. And if, in fact, they have capabilities of being heroes than any of you, since they're still emotionally and mentally intact still. After hundreds of years. After years of being mistreated by society and having to survive by hunting their own food. You all have it very good. These problem children, had it worse than anyone in the world. Well, it's time to begin the next quirk examination. Nah, I guess you would skip that. Because none of them have signs of having quirks. And they still think what they have is quirks, which is not true. As they do the heroes versus villains. As Deku would be in a tux. A very fine tux. As everyone will be in their, little nightmares form, but enhanced almost. Or, suit, or, clothing, but enhanced. Mono having, armor. As everyone would have armor, but different versions of armor. You would say. Bulletproof or bullet resistant at least. And they would have ballistic gear, you would say. A lot of them would. Making them very scary to the rest of the class. Of course, though, it would be a very unfair fight against, since their refusal to work with anyone else besides each other, Aizawa had to, change the heroes versus villains. They would have 2 portions of it. So 7v7, meaning that the people I'm about to call out are the people that are about to go against the 7 of them, which are, I repeat, Kirishima, Todoroki. Hold up, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. As I said, Kirishima, Katsuki Bakugo, Shoto Todoroki, Momoyaya Rozu, Tenya Ida, Zero, one, two, three, four, five, Zero, and Mina Ashido. Or switch out Zero for Ayama as they go against each other. First, the group of 7 play as villains, as the 7 of them wait in the darkness. Deku waiting in the most patiently. I've been waiting. Perfect. What a brilliant plan. As Deku waited and waited, eventually it took about 5 minutes to 10 minutes for them to locate the bomb, as the rest of them appear, as Deku and his 7 or 6 people would stand on guard looking at Bakugo's team as Bakugo coming rushing at him, as Bakugo tries to touch the bomb, as Midoriya blocks him. Deku blocks him, using a swift kick and speed blitzing him. This was, of course, see some people worried due to the speed, inhuman speed. But from what they've gone through, the speed is well worth it. As what happens next, as it's a practically mini army war. As we all know, this is a very one-sided fight. Todoroki would be taken down by Mono and his axes, or blunt axes technically. Mono will be able to summon axes due to his power manipulation, summoning axes out of nowhere, taking down Todoroki easily by chopping down his ice. Mina and Ayama will be taken down by 7 and 6. 7 being the distraction, and 6 attacking them from behind. Bakugo being taken down by Deku, as Deku holds Bakugo's breath, making him faint and unable to battle. As villain team wins. As now it's time for the second round. As Deku is now a hero, and with his team heroes, and with the Bakugo squad would be the villains. As like the same round before, it would be a little different, but it would end up having the same results. Instead, Todoroki would try to flash freeze everything this time. But Deku would notice this, and eventually everyone will just jump. Yes, a couple of them do slip, but at least they are not turned into ice. as Mono makes away with his axes, chopping down the ice on the floor, making them able to move again. Deku goes on, trying to see what plans he can come up with. As Bakugo runs down the stairs, trying to blast at the team, using his gauntlets and pulling the pins. Of course, due to the surprise of everyone, something would happen to Deku, as Deku's face would split in two. But not as, what would you think in a horror movie, but one personality would be unhinged. The demon within Deku, or the nightmare within Deku, would open up. And then, slowly but surely, as the light covers the darkness, Deku would become normal. Or at least in this human-like form. Everyone would notice this, due to it taking a while, as Deku would gain an angry grin. I give you guts, Katsuki Bakugo. But it's not enough. Even though you did scratch me and did injure me, my other half won't allow you to win so easily. As they will be allowed, with restrictions of course, to activate their nightmare mode. As one by one they each go in their nightmare mode, or at least if they have one. The only people who have a nightmare mode would be Mono, 6, and Deku. As the others will be more of a side people or side army. While they're distracting Bakugo, the others will go and take down everyone else. As the time came, Bakugo would be defeated very brutally, having both of his arms crushed, and almost, 5 of his ribs fractured. 5 of them. Making Bakugo in critical condition. As for the others, they wouldn't get harsh treatment. Of course, there'll still be broken bones, but that will just be, what happens when you mess with the Nightmare Squad, which they are called. As Mina falls to the same category. Instead of broken hands or broken feet or broken, arms, she'll get broken ribs. 4 of them, in fact, by punching all the air out of her lungs. That's what Mono did with the blunt side of his axe. As we go to Kirishima would be chopped, or more lines hit by Mono on the back of the head and in the front of the head, knocking him out. As for Zero, he would very easily be dealt with, as all the pillars would be chopped down by Mono, and 6 would tackle him to the ground, eventually knocking him out. As 3 would end up defeating, the rest, like Todoroki. As that will be the end of the Heroes vs. Villains. And I hope you all liked my short video in Season 2 of A Hero in a Nightmare.